let's go back, way back into evolution. We're talking about evolution. Why our bodies are so resilient, and that has to do with evolution. Our bodies learn how to adapt into the environment it's given to. Take this for example. If a human runs against a horse in a 1 mile run, of course the horse will win, obviously. But you do a marathon, let's say 26 miles, eventually the horse is going to need water, the horse is going to get tired, and the human will keep going, and it could go 2 to 4 hours nonstop. Hey guys, I'm beginning to realize every time I try and find the perfect environment to record videos, it doesn't happen. Usually when I want to do a video, I want to record outdoors in a park, but it gets too noisy. It's summer, a lot of people are doing stuff outside. And sometimes when I'm in office, the lighting's not good. And then you get background noise from all kinds of appliances. But anyways, I'm in my car today. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover in the next maybe few months. So this is why I'm spitting out these blogs or this content rather quickly. So forgive me if it's not fancy, but hopefully this content becomes useful down the line. So we've been talking about this acronym called BRAVE, B-R-A-V-E. We read in previous videos, I already discussed what B stands for, which is balance. R stands for recovery. So today we're going to talk about A for, no, not that kind of A. We're talking about adaptation. Now, adaptation is usually a misconstrued word, or the definition is very misconstrued because in fitness, people think, okay, I've adapted, I'm going to change my routine, but I'm going to get into more details of that. So adaptation basically is when your body starts becoming efficient and your progress starts to diminish. So if you're trying to lose weight, you could say, okay, my routine, I need to up my routine. And most people will do that. They'll add an extra 15 minutes to their cardio, or they'll try and add an extra day. But what is being misconstrued here or overlooked is how we adapt, how the body is very resilient on getting back to where it wants to be. So it wants to bounce back and it wants to find the most efficient way to make it through the day. So this is where adaptation plays an important role, or our adaptation affects all of us. So adaptation is not only physical activity, it has something to do with your nutrition as well. So for example, if you're on a normal basis, you could eat 2,000 calories per day. And let's say you break even, you don't gain weight, you don't lose weight, and you do this for a couple of weeks. So you adapt to 2,000 calories per day to make it through your regular lifestyle. So what you do is, I'm going to exercise more. If you have a goal of losing weight, I want to exercise more and eat less. Okay, so instead of 2,000 calories a day, you eat 1,500 calories a day. And then you decide to do more cardio. In these conditions, technically it works for a couple of weeks. So you start losing weight. However, you soon adapt, and this could happen as soon as 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It really depends on the person. So what happens is you can't keep the same formula. You can't say, okay, for a whole month, I am going to do 1,500 calories per day, and I'm going to eat 1,500 calories per day, and I'm going to exercise an extra cardio, which makes it 3 days. So these are temporary fixes. It's not something that is good over time. And eventually you adapt. Now, how low can you go? This is a question that I get because I've tried eating 800 calories for a week and maybe 2 weeks. And yes, this is very low for me, for someone that's my size. 800 calories. I was able to get through my regular day of working out, of training clients, which is physically, doing my computer work, which takes a lot of glucose and a lot of calories as well when you think a lot with your brain. I was able to survive with 800 calories a day. However, there were sluggish times like in the afternoon where I felt like I needed a nap. So what was happening with my body? My body was learning how to conserve energy throughout the day to adapt to 800 calories per day and to make it through the day of all the physical tasks that has to be done. Eating 800 calories per day is not something I would recommend. I could do it because I'm experimenting with myself, but I would never recommend it to clients unless they were supervised or consulted by a physician that specifically says that. Or if you're a really tiny person of under 100 pounds, you could probably get by with 800 calories per day. So what happens is my metabolism, my metabolic rate actually decreases to 800 calories per day. So this is where, you know, the math doesn't add up. You think you're going to burn 2,000 calories per day with all your activity and you're working out on average 2,000 calories. But if you keep eating 800 calories a day, you are teaching your body to burn 800 calories per day. Okay, does that make sense? So your metabolism is not 2,000 all the time, or it's not 1,500 all the time. Whatever you eat, your body is going to learn how to metabolize to that amount. So how do you fix this? So obviously it's not a good idea to eat 700, to eat less, and then try and exercise more. You're putting yourself at risk. So the solution is to think about deficit. And this is, I'm going to get into more details into this BRAVE acronym during the expenditure. I'm going to talk more about deficit, how to create deficit. But you could easily eat 1,200 calories a day. So instead of 800, eat 1,200, 400 more. But your activity level, your caloric burn has to be higher on a regular basis, not only on a daily basis. Think of a week basis. So there's got to be days where maybe you're lifting heavier, because when you lift heavier, you create what's called the afterburn. Your body has to repair itself within days, not only during the day, not during the same day. When you do cardio, it's more real-time calorie burn. So if I'm going to go run 6 miles for an hour, I'll probably burn 700, 600 calories. However, there is very little afterburn. That means the next day I could run again, but there's no what's called EPOC, excess post-oxygen consumption. So that's the reason why you want to lift significantly, moderately heavy. You want to lift to a point where your body is being challenged, that it has to go through this repair stage for the next several days. And that's how you speed up your metabolism, and that's how you keep your caloric expenditure higher. So when you're eating 1,200 per day, you're lifting, you're doing more cardio, you could easily stay at 2,000 calories per day. I mean, expending 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. That way you keep a significant deficit and you continue to lose weight. So this is some of the stuff I get into details if you become a client. But this is the whole idea about adaptation, the guts of adaptation. It's not about just adding little increments per day. It's about changing the numbers dramatically, or I shouldn't say drop your calories, but always have an increase of activity level. It could be gardening. It could be going for a longer walk. It could be doing house chores. It could be other than just doing the gym. It could be something you like doing. Maybe play tennis. Maybe ride a bike. So you want to add a significant amount of change if you want to keep this deficit. So that's about adaptation. Please subscribe if you haven't. We're going to talk about volume on the next video.